What's up, team? How's it going? Today is day one. Day one of the video challenge. I'm doing a little video challenge with my friend Adam Denias and a bunch of other people from the Young Architect Conference group. And we're going to record a video every day for the next 30 days to stop being awkward about making videos. And so here we go. Day one of we're going to make 30 awkward videos back to back for the next 30 days. So what I want to talk about today, what I wanted to talk about is finding the time to study for the architect exam. But before we talk about that, I want to tell a quick story. So do you remember back in architecture school, that guy that rich kid who drove to architecture school every day in his dad's BMW, and he worked at an architecture firm, and he kind of had like an attitude about architecture school. And he's like, I work, part-time in an architecture office making an architecture student salary, and, I don't have time for this architecture school stuff. And he did probably, half or a quarter of the amount of work it actually took to have a good project. And while we were all hustling in design studio, he was out, making, minimum wage, working in an architecture office as a student. And when the final review came along, he probably had the worst project out of all of us because we were all actively studying and, working really hard on our designs. And he was just too good for that. What I've learned with the architect exam, and people get upset when I say this, I have learned that if you don't have a lot of time to study for the architect exam, you're pretty much wasting your time trying to study for the architect exam. And at the beginning of boot camp, what I do is I say, hey guys, welcome to boot camp, let's get started. And then I look everyone in the eyes like this. I look them in the eyes and I go, listen, I'm going to give you this insane list of stuff to do, and next week I'm going to give you another list. I'm going to keep piling the work on this and that and all this. I'm going to give you a lot of things to keep you busy. But what I care most about at the beginning of boot camp isn't about getting it all done. It's about finding this time to do this work. Because if you don't have a lot of time to study for the architect exam, you're wasting your time trying to study for the architect exam. And this is like foundational. This is huge. This is what makes or breaks so many people that get started with this process, is they have unrealistic expectations about what it takes and how much work it really is. And this is one of the things that I do too, and this has made me actually a very unpopular person with a lot of people, because I've been traveling around the United States for the past 2 years telling everyone, it took me over 2,000 hours to pass all of my architect exams, and I failed 4 tests along the way. It's taking between probably 1,300 hours to 2,000 hours for people to pass all ARI 5.0 exams. This is a huge time commitment. This is a huge project. And so many other people, either, sometimes NCARB, sometimes prep providers, all these people, recently there was the 6 and 6, the Charlie Kletcha, Amy Rosen thing, where they only spend 1 week studying for every exam. All of these people are talking about the architect exam like it's maybe, 150 or a 200-hour project. You know what? It's not. It's not a 200-hour project. This is more like a 1,800 to 2,000-hour project. And if you don't have the time to put in the work and read this content and really embrace it and learn it from a lot of levels, you're not going to get there. And what I've seen and what I know for a fact with especially the pro practice and for all the architect exams is a lot of this stuff, the first time you look at it, you're not going to be an expert in it. Like, let's use B101, A201 as an example. I tell everyone, the first time you read this contract, you are not going to be an expert, and you need to keep rereading it and understanding it and looking at it from many different levels. The repetition is really how we learn it and how we get deeper at it. And so my advice, my big takeaway, my advice, the moral of all this stuff is make finding the time to study for the architect exam the priority. Because if you don't have time to study, I would say at least 10 hours a week. That's kind of on the low end. My boot campers are putting in 15, 20, 25 hours a week. And I'll be honest with you, everyone's working full time. People got 2 or 3 kids. There's deadlines in the office. They got pushy bosses and everything. And they're still, on average, finding 15 hours a week to actually work on the architect exam. It's got to be sustainable too. We got to pay our bills. We got to feed the kids. We got to, meet our deadlines. But on average, it should probably be about 15 hours a week. And I would say, make that your number one priority. Make it the number one priority because you're not going to get there. This is a huge, huge time commitment. So That's my video for day one of our 30-day awkward video challenge. All right, team. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.